What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Building on an Island. This is episode 3, and if you remember, we're publishing every third Wednesday. This is extra content here in the Build Show. But if you want to get ahead, we're actually a couple episodes ahead over on our website, buildshownetwork.com. All right, so Building on an Island. This is a series that is being produced by the Build Show, by my team, but my buddy Wade Paquin is the builder. He's a builder in Rhode Island, WKP Construction, and he's building this house off the coast of Rhode Island on Block Island. Super tough climate, lots of logistical issues, and Wade is up for the challenge. He and his team are some really smart builders. This episode today is the foundation waterproofing and also the basement insulation phase. We got a lot to learn from Wade. He's a really smart builder, and there's some cool details to be seen on this episode. So guys, 3 weeks from now on YouTube, we'll publish the next episode. But again, if you want to catch up or actually get ahead, go over to buildshownetwork.com. Building on an Island, episode 3. Let's get going.
The Building on an Island series is sponsored by Andersen Windows and Doors, the Unicare System, Key Link Fencing and Railing, and Legend.
Hi, I'm Wade Paquin, and I'm back on island for episode 3. You can see behind me the home has now emerged from the ground. Our foundation is done. We're in that exciting phase of transitioning from foundation and backfilling to having lumber on site and starting framing. But on this episode, we're going to focus on foundation waterproofing, foundation drainage board, and how those two things tie into the exterior French drain system around the footing, as well as a detail I like to use underneath the basement slab on grade, which is using closed cell spray foam. Since I was last on site, our foundation wall work is complete. Our forms have been stripped, removed, those form ties have been snapped off, so we're ready for our foundation waterproofing. We've also had our site work guy on site doing a little bit of trenching within the footprint of the basement. We're bringing in some conduits for things like our water line and electric over to where our mechanical room will be in the basement. But before he, our site work guy, can come back and continue working here and getting the exterior of this foundation backfilled, we need to get this wall waterproofed. Now, why are we waterproofing the wall here? We're on an island out in the middle of the ocean. We have a lot of fog here on the island. We have a lot of rain. This is a wet environment, and we need to take the opportunity now to manage that water. We don't want it sitting up against our wall. We don't want it sitting along the footing. We want to get this water out and away from the building to keep this wall and the footing as dry as possible so the interior isn't condensating, leading to, poor air quality and those moldy, musty smelling air that I'm sure a lot of you have experienced in maybe your own basement or others that you've been in. So we're going to take a close look at the two products we're using here, and I'll explain to you how these work individually and how they work together as a system. So the two products we're using here on the foundation are both by Tremco. The first one is this. This is an H8. This is a polymer enhanced liquid asphalt applied membrane. Now it sounds like a tongue twister, but this is our first layer, right? This is going to waterproof our concrete wall. And because of the properties of this material and the fact that concrete tends to crack when it shrinks, those hairline cracks, this material is going to bridge that crack. So it's not going to allow any water to penetrate through those small cracks or even a little bit of the larger cracks. So this is a really good base layer to waterproofing our foundation. The other product we're using is also by Tremco. This is called Warm and Dry. It's part of the Tough and Dry system. And this board is really doing 3 things. It's acting as a protection board out here on the exterior. So when we're backfilling any large rocks or small boulders that might roll out of the bucket of the excavator or roll in from the bank during that backfilling process, that could slam up against this wall and damage this membrane basically compromising it. So by having the board here, that's helping keep the membrane intact. It's also acting as an insulator. It's got an R10 value to it, so that's going to help maintain the interior air temp on the other side of this wall in the basement, which is going to lead to better air quality in the basement and a less likelihood of having the wall condensate on the interior side. And third, and maybe most important, is the drainage capability of this board. It's made up of fiberglass. You have all these different layers here on this board. It's 2 3/8 inches thick. And when up against the building here, any water that's going to come along the foundation wall, gravity wants to pull it down. Well, this board is going to assist in pulling that water down to the footing where it will connect and integrate with our exterior French drain system. So that water will go through the board, get into this pocket of crushed stone that's surrounding our 4-inch perforated pipe, and that water, again, down and out. We want it away from the building. So 3 great properties of the board. Together with the H8 system, it's really a robust exterior foundation waterproofing system. When we were last on site, our foundation waterproofing subcontractor was on island installing the tough and dry system here in the foundation. So that first layer of that waterproofing sprayed onto the concrete. Our drainage board, which is also our protection board, and you can see that behind me with the partial backfilling. Some of these larger rocks and small boulders that roll out of the bucket or roll into the overdig when backfilling can smash up against that concrete and compromise that spray-on waterproofing material. So this board here provides quite a bit of protection. Below me is our French drain system, our exterior French drain system. Basically a 4-inch Schedule 35 perforated pipe, embedded in about 2 feet of crushed stone on all sides of the pipe, wrapped in filter fabric. So that's gonna allow mostly clean water to get into the pipe, which keeps the pipe from clogging up and allows that water to flow around the perimeter of the house and out to daylight on the exit point in that piping system, which is off to the south here. We'll continue backfilling the exterior once we have the first floor framing locked in place, that first floor deck. We don't want to apply too much pressure from the backfilling to the concrete walls until that first floor deck is locked in. We want to allow the concrete to cure. Once that deck's locked in, the concrete has reached its cure time, then we can continue finish backfilling up to rough grade. So as far as the interior footprint goes, we have a bathroom here in what will be a walkout basement, and we have the waste pipe stubbed up for that. That's tied into the septic here on the property. In front of me is a sump pit, which will house a future sump pump just in case there is a potential problem with groundwater here. We haven't seen any indications of that, but it's always good to have one in place in case it is needed. And then we've got a crushed stone base. So this is some 3/4 inch crushed stone. We've got a 6-inch thick layer of that here. It's flush with the top of the footing. Before we place our concrete slab, I'll be installing a 2-inch thick layer of closed cell spray foam that will go across the top of all this stone, across the top of the foundation footing and up the wall, right to the bottom side of the first floor subfloor. So that's gonna give us a nice continuous insulation envelope. So we're wrapped up with our foundation waterproofing, our exterior drainage, our interior drainage, our underslab provisions in terms of plumbing and conduits for our future mechanical room. And now we can move on to my favorite phase of building, framing. Next week, we've got 2 loads of lumber coming. Framing crew is gonna mobilize on site, and we're gonna get going on framing. So you wanna stay tuned for episode 4 as we dive in to framing this custom home here on the island. Until then, I'm Wade Paquin with Building on an Island.